Hi, everyone.
As I choke. Hi. Welcome to our Tuesday team call. We're excited to talk tonight about customers, keeping them, getting them, and then maintaining them. I feel like this is something that you really do have to practice at because those Shakeology orders. I'm sorry, those Shakeology monthly HD customers are so crucial. Hi, Kelly.
Hi, Kelly.
So I definitely think that this is a subject that I feel like it kind of goes in hand with your power hour too. So let's just dig right in. So why don't we start with what do you think, Britt? Just starting with like getting the customer.
Yeah, how about we both share? How about you share kind of like your, I guess, process for like what you think helps you attract customers, and then I'll share what I think helps me attract customers, and then we can both share about like keeping customers. And then everyone, I mean, if you have questions or anything that you guys do differently, I'm always looking for more tips. And so I'd love to hear what you guys do or if you have any ideas, and then we can just kind of go from there.
Okay, cool. So I would say that my biggest customer base these days is still like the people who've been watching for a year who are finally trickling in, and it's the consistency that has paid off. But then I would also say it's definitely the transformation Tuesdays and Thursdays, sharing, and not physically, but like all of it mentally. My post tonight, great example, just like things that have changed in your life since becoming a coach. I feel like that helps people relate to you, and always having a call to action at the end of it. So, you know, if this sounds like you, or if you've been there, then this is like a great place to start. So really meeting people in their need, I feel like, is a way to feel relatable in comparison to all the other people out there selling something. So the way I kind of have been keeping track is all of my new customers that come in. So anytime someone likes my fitness page, I say, thanks for liking my fitness page. I just wanted to stop in and let you know, like, I offer recipes, and I just basically what I do on my page. Then I give them my website. If you want more information about what I do, here's my website, and I would love to have you join any of our online accountability groups. And that's it. Super simple. Most of the time, people don't even get them because they either don't take my friend request, or they do take my friend request, but they don't use Messenger, which I simply just invite them to, because then they get a different notification. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed that, but if you go to message somebody and it says at the top in blue writing, invite Sarah to Messenger, you can invite them, and then they're going to get a notification from Facebook that's like, hey, you've never used Messenger before, try it. So that's kind of how I kind of get new customers. And then as of lately, anybody who kind of engages with a post that's about fitness, I simply just send them like a, hey, thanks for, encouraging me. You'd be surprised. Sometimes we don't get a lot of encouragement in return from, just the general public. And so like, it's so great. Thanks for, sharing your love. Are you on a health journey too? That like brings a whole new, like, okay, now we're conversating about whatever. That's a big one. And that has been a big game changer for me, because that usually turns into some sort of, conversation about the next challenge group that we're having. And so just how I manage those people, as anybody who goes on a list that's I ever really talk about fitness with, I put them in I have like a little book, and they just go in this book. And then as soon as the month's kind of coming to an end, I re-engage with those people. I don't stalk them through the month because they never really said they were interested, but I never really technically invited them either. So it's kind of like it's neither here nor there. So this is like a great way. At the end of the month, I'm going to invite all of them to whatever I have going on in the coming months. So that's sort of how I deal. That's sort of how I get new customers. And then I'll talk about what I do once they become customers. But why don't you go ahead, Britt, and talk about how you get new ones?
Okay. So when I was spending some time, because I hadn't really thought about the process, about what is it that I'm doing that I feel like is really helping me attract new customers. And I think for me, one of the things that I realized is so much of it is going to go back to your mindset. Something that each of us needs to do in our business before we can really start moving forward and start getting the new customers, gaining the momentum, is go back to the drawing board. And if you haven't done this recently, I encourage you to do so. But remember why you became a coach in the first place, because that's really going to drive you and drive your story. But then in addition to that, I encourage and challenge you guys to ask yourself, like, what's your purpose as being a coach? Like, this is your platform. What do you want to use it for? And then also the third part of that is, what are your goals with this business? And it's important for each of us to kind of take that stock every once in a while, because our goals can change throughout our journey as a coach. For me personally, I signed up as a discount coach, and then Kim signed up and I was like, oh, okay, like, let me get my Shakeology paid for. Whatever, a hobby coach. And then now I've decided I am a business building coach and I want to do this full time. And so over time, my goals have changed. And so I encourage you guys to recognize what your goals are and then match your effort to those goals. And then why this is so important in helping you attract new customers is that if you understand why you're doing this and what your purpose is, like what your platform is, it's really going to drive your focus in terms of who are you trying to reach. And that's really important, because your posts are going to be a lot more focused and specific if you know who you're trying to reach. Because I know our heart is to help everyone. Like, that's our, we became coaches partially because we want everyone to experience what we've experienced. And it doesn't matter who they are, how old they are, what their journey's been. We want them in this community. But the reality is that we are better suited to help specific people. Each of us is wonderfully made differently, right? Like, and then we each have our own story. We each have our own struggles, strengths, weaknesses. Who are you best suited to meet and to reach and to invite into this journey? And how you're going to figure that out is most likely you're most suited to reach someone who's had a similar journey as you, but who hasn't started their journey to where you are yet. So I am better suited to reach out to someone who has like 10 to 15, 20 pounds to lose, who has struggled with eating disorders. You might be better suited to reach someone who is a mom who had kids and then lost their identity for a little bit, lost their community, lost their, who they were before they were a mom, because their whole life is their babies. And now they're looking for getting their identity back, getting their health back, having more energy to be a more present mom. Whoever you're trying to reach, make sure that your posts are specific, because that's going to help you get more customers. Because if your posts are general, people are going to keep scrolling, right? But if they feel like you are talking directly to them, they're going to stop and they're going to take notice. And the reality is, I mentioned this on our call last week, but we aren't the only Beachbody coaches in our friends' newsfeeds anymore. And that's not something to scare us, but that's something to kind of help encourage and kind of challenge us to step our games up. Why are they going to choose you over someone else? And there's a couple of reasons why, but one of them is because they're going to feel like they connect with you more than anyone else in their newsfeed, because not only are you sharing your journey, not only are you letting them know that they can join your journey, but you're letting them know why you are best suited to help them, because you were open, you were being vulnerable, you were sharing. And when I think about what my marketing strategy is for my Beachbody business, I think of my whole marketing strategy is just adding value. How can I add value to people's lives? And if you haven't listened to the National Wake Up Call from last week, I highly recommend that you do. I know that maybe 2 weeks ago I talked about the importance of adding value, but then that call was just incredible. And it really just even stirred up more of a passion in me to just add value to people's lives. And I truly feel like part of what helps me get customers is that I try to add so much value to their lives before that they're even in my community, that they already just feel like they're part of my team, that they're part of my community, that why would they choose anyone else? Why would I'm already reaching out to them. I'm already providing them with recipes. I'm already encouraging them before they've even said that they want to challenge back. I'm reaching out to them before that they are a Beachbody customer. I already make them feel like I am their support system and I am on this journey with them. I think another thing that we need to do that really changes our mindset, which changes how we interact with people and how we post, which is how we attract customers, right? It's this idea that we need to understand that success is possible for us in this business. I mean, we know that it's possible in this business. We wouldn't be still here if we didn't feel like that it was possible, right? And we see Kelly Jimenez, who's probably like the closest person to us who like is having success in this business, that we as coaches need to understand that it's possible for us too. Because we believe in the products and the programs, but we also need to believe that we have something to offer as a coach and that we can be successful in this business, because that trickles into how we talk about our challenge groups, how we talk about, you know, like the programs and the products and what we do as coaches, because we truly need to be sold on it. You know, like so much so that people just feel like they want to join our journey. They don't like, rather, we want them to feel like they just want to join our journey, not like that they need to, like we're trying to sell something to them. You know the difference? And I just started recently filming, trying to be more intentional about filming a couple of videos here and there for our YouTube channel. And one of the things that I was struck by last week was this realization that, you know, like we're so afraid of like, or we feel weird about like bringing up the price, that people have to buy something to be in our groups. And we get a little sheepish about that, and like kind of makes our stomachs turn a little bit. And that's really kind of why we're afraid of inviting people in the first place. Like it comes down to like that they have to pay for something, and that brings up like all of these things. But the reality is if we went to an Adele concert and it changed our lives, and we just like raved about it and couldn't wait for the next one, and like we already bought our ticket, like, and we're going no matter if anyone's joining us or not. Like I don't care if I'm going by myself, I'm going to Adele because it was life-changing. And we're posting about it on Facebook, and we're talking to our friends about it, and we just can't wait till the next Adele concert. If someone decided they wanted to go with us, they would still have to buy their own ticket. And that wouldn't be weird. Like there'd be no expectation that we would buy it for them. There'd be no expectation that it would be a free concert, right? Because it's Adele, you know, and we just have to have that same posture when we're talking about our groups, that it's worth the price. Adele is worth the price. Our groups are worth the price. We're adding so much value to their lives that even just this weekend, someone, like I told her how much the 21-day fix is this month, and I kind of broke it down for her. And her response is, wow, that was like, that's so affordable, you know, which is like, you know, that's how, of course, we're not always going to get that. That's not normally the like response, right? But when you break it down for people, like it really helps people understand you're providing so much value to them that they want to join your journey. So they're going to become your new customers. And then I don't want to like beat a dead horse with the 4 vital behaviors, but like going back to those, like those are key. Like we have to be doing the 4 vital behaviors, all 4 of them, in order to be getting new customers. Doing your personal development, I feel like is so, so important. It's going to help everything about your business. It's going to help with your mindset. It's going to help you with what to post. I feel like sometimes when my coaches say like repeatedly over days, of course we always have those moments where it's just like, I have no idea what to share tonight. But one of the first questions I ask my coaches if they feel like they have nothing to say is, are you guys doing your personal development? Because if you are, you're always going to have something to say, because you're always learning something new. And so I think that's part of it too, is like we need to be just continuing to grow in our own journey, because we don't want people to be stunted because they can only grow as much as we've grown. So, and we don't want them to outgrow us either if they just, you know, bypass us and start their own journey. So we need to continue growing so that we can continue adding value to people. And I think too, having the mindset that we're on this journey, whether or not people join us, that's really like life-changing, because that floods into our messages. Like we're not like desperate. We're not trying to close the sale. Like it's okay if they choose something else. We're still excited for their health and fitness journey. And I think that's how I've been able to get some customers too, because sometimes people don't choose us right away, but they come back later because I've continued to support them when they decided to go with the gym membership and they decided to go with the 6-week boot camp membership instead. I continue to cheer them on when I see them check into that boot camp. I continue to cheer them on when I see them, you know, talk about like when someone did like a really cool plank challenge, like with her boot camp, and I cheered her on, even though that's what she chose instead of my group. And then she messaged me about 4 weeks after that saying, hey, when my boot camp is up, I want to join your group, you know. And it's just because I continue to just add value to her life and support her and continued my own journey in the process. And then of course, sharing your transformation, like Kim said, doing your personal development, again, recognizing people, like commenting on their posts, letting them know that you exist, and then posting your journey consistently is so key. Like, I feel like it makes such a difference when people can see not only that you're on a journey that they can join you, but the results of being on that journey, that things are working, you know, like whether emotionally or physically, that being on this journey is positively impacting your life in very tangible ways so that people can say, oh, I see, like it works. Like it gives credibility to everything else that we've been doing to show the transformation of being in this community and of these programs and products. So those are just a couple things that I wanted to share about how I've been able to get new customers. And then also we can, at the end, if you guys, I know that I shared this a couple times, but if you guys want to talk more about like the specific invites, we can definitely talk about those too. But I guess why don't we go into, oh no, my computer is going to shut down. Okay. We can go into how we maintain our customers. And at the end, if you guys have specific questions about invites or anything, we can definitely go into those.
Okay, cool. I was just going to add to, I feel like the best thing people can do is say no, because then it gives you something to work with. I feel like that's been probably a huge factor of mine in that a lot of the reasons that people say no is because they're scared or because they think that they're going to invest in something that isn't going to work. And that's why we have to constantly show them that it works. You know what I mean? I can't tell you how many times it's funny, all these customers right now, because they're all, you know, they all on the health bet. So they all have their Beachbody on Demand, and they're just like loving Beachbody on Demand. I'm like, yeah, I've been telling you this for a year, like get on the demand. And so it's just kind of funny. Like if people have to see it, they have to prove it to themselves. And sometimes you have to remind them in subtle ways. So I feel like that's a great way to go into it. Okay, so now that we have your customers, I feel like aside from those that turn over into coaches, I feel like I aim to, depending on what the customer is. So let's just say they go through one of my challenge groups and then they kind of fall off at the end. I probably follow up with them every other month. If they don't respond at all, I feel like that's just kind of a waste of my own time. And I don't mean that in a rude way, but it's like I'm at this point, I'm kind of stalking them. They all go into my newsletter email, so it's not like they're not hearing from me, but I would say that I send voice memos for those that are actively doing stuff still. So if they're not in my challenge groups, like those, like the ones that kind of live in tribe, or the ones that I know are like running and they're drinking Shakeology, or, you know, some of the guys that I have that are just random, I send them voice memos over through Facebook, and I do that once a week. Thursdays, I have a list that I keep in my phone, and then I just update it every time I get a new person, or every time someone comes out of a challenge group and doesn't want to join another one, or whatever the case, that list is just constantly updating. And then I just send them, I would say 30-second memos every Thursday. And I just stay consistent with that because I feel like that helps me keep on track of them, and it helps me understand where they're at. So like if they're, you know, hey, you know, like I had a girl the other day and she's like a marathon runner and she just, you know, she's falling off. And so it's like, she's like, I feel like when I'm too focused on my fitness, I become unfocused on my family. And so now I've been there. So staying engaged in their lives, no matter what the situation is kind of where I've been at. And so that's sort of, I just kind of keep it simple. I try not to overthink it, but I do keep an Excel spreadsheet that I put in like kind of what they originally bought, what they're currently doing, if they're a club member or they're a Shakeology member, and then I go from there. And then that's kind of what I do to maintain my current customers, so to speak. As far as like free leads go, oh, the free leads. I just like, they're kind of a joke. So I never get anywhere with them, except for like random ones. I send them all an initial email introducing myself as a coach, and then they literally go on a list and they get a newsletter monthly. If they choose to engage, then of course, then they lump into the same way I treat any other customer. But most of them, I think I have one girl who finally responded, and she's buying Shakeology monthly, and she's in Tribe Trifecta. She has no interest in being in any kind of accountability group aside from that one. And that's kind of where she lives. So I just keep it simple. I write them all down. And then as people are kind of falling off, like I still, depending on who they are, I just kind of feel them out. Like if I'm like, you know what, you'll be back, they stay on the list. If I'm like, you know what, you ignored me 17 times, I'm probably going to cut you. But they still get the newsletter. So not that they could care less. They're obviously not buying anything. But I just try to stay like a positive person in their life, basically. So I would say that's how I maintain my current customers.
So I would say for me, when I was thinking about how do I maintain my current customers, I think I do so in a couple ways. Number one, like I was mentioning before, like before they're even in the group, I'm focusing on adding value to their lives. I'm trying to make a connection with them so that they really do feel like they're part, like that we're buddies in this process, that we are in this journey together, that I'm not just like their coach, but I am their like cheerleader and their friend. And I send lots of emojis and like 14 exclamation marks because like that's the level that I'm always operating at with them, you know? And so I'm just sharing my journey with them. Then I take my challenge groups very, very seriously. If any of you guys have co-led one with me, I take a lot of time to create those templates. I create themes. I create graphics that match that go along with my themes. I know that some people, like I might take too long on creating them, but I truly feel like that goes into my adding value to people's lives, is me like pouring into them through these templates. And I feel like we need to not underestimate the power of having a powerful challenge group template, because through what you're sharing with them, you can be instilling in them that this is longer than a 21-day challenge through the content that you're sharing with them. Because not only do I give them tips for making this a lifestyle, you know, like how to easily incorporate this into their lives, certain things that we're all sharing with them, like how much water you should be drinking, the value of lemon water, just certain things. But then also I'm talking to them about overcoming their insecurities. I'm talking to them about breaking through self-sabotaging activities, recognizing what they are and then how to break through them. I'm talking to them about letting go of whatever has kept them in the past from completing a program. I talk to them about adding grace and determination as their two like mottos and foundation of their journey, where it's okay to get off track, have grace for yourself, but also have the determination to get back on track. And I start talking to them about this mindset that this is beyond this 1 month. I start talking to them as if we're on this journey together for life. And so I'm instilling this in them in a group setting. I match them up with accountability partners, which makes them feel like they have this buddy on this journey, that they are part of something, in addition to the one-on-one support for me. And then in addition to being part of this bigger group, which actually now that we're doing like the My Challenge Tracker app, I have to figure out if I'm going to still do accountability partners in the app. It's a little different. But on Facebook, I do the accountability partners. And I send voice memos when I'm in the car, just following up with them. As soon as they buy a challenge pack or join my team, I send handwritten thank you notes saying thank you so much. So I feel like just adding value to them, making them feel like they really are part of it. Sometimes, you know, I try to run my challenge groups a little bit like our team pages. Like I post, if I see it's someone's birthday, I do like a cute like happy birthday graphic for them and say, hey everyone, like let's wish them a happy birthday. And so they just start feeling like they're part of a team. They start feeling like they are part of this community. And so it's kind of a no-brainer to continue on this community. I've started incorporating graphics about different Shakeology ingredients that Kim created into my challenge group template. So every third day, they're getting a different Shakeology ingredient. So it's not overwhelming, like where they feel like, okay, I get it. Like I already bought this. Like you don't have to like shove this down my throat. But I'm adding value to them, like explaining why this shake is so incredible. You know, like they're already drinking it. I present it like, hey, I'm just explaining like what you're putting in your body every day, just so you know how like awesome it is that you made this awesome choice. And I think that really has helped people continue drinking Shakeology. And then, you know, a lot of people continue to be in my groups. As long as they're continuing to drink Shakeology, they're allowed to continue being in my groups. And if they don't want to continue drinking Shakeology, I put them into Tribe Trifecta, where they get a different level of accountability. So they aren't losing that support. It's just that I have a different level of expectations for like my group. my challenge groups are for people who want to go all in. They are the people who like, you know, have stake in the game because they purchased Shakeology. You know, like that's kind of how I present it. And then I present Tribe Trifecta as not a less than group, but like an equal. It's just you, like there are two different choices you can make. You get to choose which group you're in, but based on, you know, like your Shakeology choice or not. And so, you know, I think those are some of the things that I do to stay on top of people. You know, and then of course, if they like, you know, I comment on every single one of their posts every day, and I make sure that I'm like intentional. I don't just say like, oh, good job. I'm, you know, like I've noticed something about their outfit, or I respond to any questions that they have, or I talk to them about their Shakeology flavor, or I offer them a different recipe, if, you know. So I just try to be very intentional about that. And yes, these things take longer. Creating these challenge group templates take a while. You know, but that's part of why I'm so proud of them, and I feel like it's our privilege and our obligation to like run awesome challenge groups because these people have trusted us. And so I feel like it's important to me to like give the level of like, you know, support and community that I promised to them in all of my public posts and direct invites. And so that's kind of how I stay on top of it, how I maintain my customers. And of course, people drop off all the time, and it's just hard because you just want them to not give up on themselves, but sometimes people do. And so I have to do like the bless and release motto, where you can't hold on to everyone. People have to make their own choices, but I try to give them as many reasons to stay as possible. And then if they choose not to, then I still like reach out to them and, you know, love on their posts on Facebook and, you know, encourage them.
I was going to add to you too, Britt, it actually works really well partnering them on the challenge group tracker.
Oh, good. I was wondering about that.
It actually works really well because they don't have to like befriend each other. They don't have to like, it's not weird to like tag them. As well as because I don't know about your group, but because like ours is so big, I know that at least there's one other, aside from myself or Sarah or whoever else, the other Melissa, in that group, I know for sure that somebody is checking in with them. Someone's encouraging them. So it's actually working
for like the last 2 weeks of the last couple weeks of the health
you
bet.
could totally throw it in. Yeah.
That's cool. Okay, cool. That's good feedback.
It's working. I think it's working. Like I've seen, and I tried to be really intentional about partnering people and like, hey, you're a really great challenger and you're a really great like, you know, so that they get the same level of whatever, but it's been working really well. So
cool. Okay, good. That's really good feedback. Then I'll probably spend time matching them up, maybe for like the last 2 weeks.
I think my dilemma is people are liking the challenge group tracker more than Facebook group.
I'm doing my fall into fitness group, my second one that's starting on Monday. We're doing it in the app.
Just in the app, not in
Just
Facebook.
In the app. And then I'll see if maybe my Lean for Halloween group, I'll see if I want to do it in Facebook or not. But people feel like it's less overwhelming on the app.
Well, I heard that I've been asking everybody is that they get, when they come on Facebook, they get distracted.
Yeah.
They forget what they come for. They forget to they'll be like, oh, I'm going in to check into my group. And then all of a sudden they're down, you know, whatever lane. So this is intentional in that, and it has reminders, which I think is
so
huge.
Important. Yeah.
And I think that and plus it's like such a simple app to use that you just, you know, here's my Shakeology, here's my workout. And then like, it's kind of like Fitbit in the sense that like, if you have changes in measurements, it's going to celebrate your loss in 2 inches. So I just think there's like a ton of awesome stuff in the app. I think it's just scary because it's not Facebook. So you feel like you're leaving Facebook or something, but I actually almost think it might be really freeing to have not Facebook groups, you know, just there for like your coaching purposes. So anyway, just note on that. So I guess that was kind of how we get customers and keep customers.
Do you guys have any questions specifically about, anything?
Yeah, anything at all.
I kind of have a question about the challenge app.
Oh.
You guys are talking about?
Yeah.
I'm pretty new with that, and pretty new period, but I think I tried signing up on the app, but it said that there was no, like I didn't have an invite on my Beachbody account or something like that. Or do you just sign up like not through your Beachbody, just with an email? Or does it matter?
I think you should just be able to sign up with your coach account.
Yeah, sign in with your email and the same password that that is your Team Beachbody login, and it should work for you.
But somebody has to invite her to a group.
Yes, yeah. It said something like
a group.
Unless she's having her own, somebody has to invite her to a group.
Oh, well, yes. You have to be, if
That's what she was
for a
saying.
specific group, then someone needs to invite you.
Okay, what if I'm doing my own group?
Then you don't sign in as your own human.
Yeah, you sign in as the coach, and then you send out invites to everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So it's still like pretty interactive, the app. It's just not including everything else in the Facebook world.
Yeah, it's very, it's just, like when you log in, it's like, there's like barely any buttons. You just push the plus sign and it's like, what do you want to do? Do you want to add your workout? Do you want to add your Shakeology? Do you want to add your measurements? Do you want to add a photo? And then you just like quickly do whatever it is that you want to do. And if you want to tag someone, it's kind of like Twitter. You just at them, like @Ashley, and it'll just populate if you're whoever's in that group. You can pin posts. So like Sarah and I are running it, and we've been doing like the tips. We haven't been doing like morning encouragement. We've been more doing like tips in the morning, and then encouragement sporadic throughout the week. And then we're also doing like fun little fitness challenges here and there. So just throughout the day, as I realize like, oh, that's probably been pinned long enough, I'll just repin a different one or whatever. But yeah, it's been really cool. We had prizes today, and usually, oh my gosh, look at him. He's like, hi. We should take our picture right now because he's so cute.
Yeah, we should. You can, because he's like happy.
I know. Okay, ready?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, hold on.
Tell me when to smile.
I will. Look at him, he's smiling.
Definitely smiling at you, Kim. When you're talking in the center, he's all,
Okay, ready? 1, 2. Good job. Okay, so anyway, so everyone has been so crazy active. Like literally 60 people have checked, are like checked. I feel like people are checking in like 17 times a day. It's a little overwhelming, but going. Anyway, so I found this online app that you just like throw everybody's name in. So we just drew a winner. We didn't go through and at that point because we were like, this is nuts. So we just threw them all in this app and it just picked somebody. So it's been really cool. And like we did like a happy birthday the other day, and like, I don't know, it's just really encouraging.
Yeah. I love the pin post on the app where, so actually it's really cool. Like the coach can pin a post, and then even when you're on the app on the phone, when you click onto it, it's like, oh, like the latest post from your coach. And so it's like the tips that they're sharing, it's the first thing you see. Or I've been sharing Shakeology recipes or the morning encouragement. It's like the first thing you see, so people don't miss it, which is awesome. Like everyone sees it. So doing something, like I love the idea of like, hey, whatever, like you'll win a prize today. And then it's so easy because like everyone gets the opportunity because everyone sees that post if they like checked in today. And I love that you can see the last time people checked in, like the last time that they logged on to the page. I just feel like it's gonna like really help us like, keep track of people. Yeah, I'm glad that like Beachbody made us do this to help that.
Me too.
So excited.
Well, the other thing too that it's really cool is that, so when Facebook you log in and you have 17 new messages in the morning, half of them are from something else or from over here. So like you don't stay focused, whereas like you are only logging into this app for this particular purpose. Nice. So it's just kind of cool.
I'm excited to figure this out more.
Yeah, try it. Make your next app or next group in there.
Sweet.
Any other questions?
Yeah, can I get some advice on something?
Yeah.
Okay. I started my first challenge group probably like 2 months ago, and everybody bailed out, so it didn't even happen. And now I'm starting my second one this coming Monday. So this week I started posting stuff in it, and I have 2 people that want to be a part of it very badly. They're excited. I added them to the group, but of course they haven't purchased anything yet. So do I keep them in the group? Do I wait until like the day of, or do I message them asking, you know, are you ever going to purchase it, or how exactly do I communicate with them about that?
So what I normally do, so in the future, there's a couple of things that came to mind when you were talking. Number one, you should totally think about partnering up with coaches just so you can have a bigger challenge group. That's what I did in the beginning, and I still do it with my new coaches just because it just like adds it's like less stress on you to feel like you have to fill up the whole thing, right? So then another thing that you can do, I normally wait to add people to the Facebook group until they've purchased. That's kind of like the sense of urgency that I add to them. You know, like, hey, like I'll add you once you purchase, once I see you in my office. But then another thing, now that they're in the group, I think sometimes people keep putting it off. They don't realize that like it takes a week to maybe like get their material. So I think it's okay for you to say like, hey, you know, our group starts on Monday, and I don't know if is your first week going to be a prep week, or is it like really people are supposed to start day 1 of their program on Monday? What are you doing?
Oh no, this is the prep week. I'm just getting them prepared mentally and everything, and putting the charts up and all that.
Okay, that's perfect. So what I would do is message them even like tonight or tomorrow night and say, you know, like, hey, I just want to follow up. I'm pretty much like, I'm so excited to like have you in my group. I'm so excited that you're interested. I see in my office you still haven't enrolled. I wanted to, make sure that you didn't have any more questions for me. I wanted to make sure that you actually got the email because sometimes the system's a little glitchy. And then, which is like a like pushy way of like following up to be like, hey, did you get the email? You know? And then also let them know that like once you order, it takes like, it'll take a week to arrive, right? Like it ships out the next day. It will take a week to arrive. So you just want to follow up to let them know that it's the perfect time for them to order, because if they order now, they're going to get their stuff in the middle of next week, which is perfect to like allow them a couple days to go through it before officially starting on day 1. So I think that like email or a message about that would kind of spur a sense of urgency for them. And then also it's just like you providing like value and care for them. Like they might not realize that they need to allow for a week for shipping, and then, you know, the value of going through it, because to them it feels like they have plenty of time. They don't recognize it yet. So that's what I would do. I don't know if Kim would do something different or what.
No, I think that's great. I would definitely recommend partnering up, and maybe even partnering up with a coach next time. But for this round, just see if you can get them in on wanting to do the program with you, and maybe like really learning what their drawbacks are and figuring out how to best, you know, suit what is their holdup and what is taking them so long, and maybe just start there. And maybe if they end up not deciding or whatever, you could invite them to like a free group, or you could change the group, you know, change it up a little and go that route too.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right. Thanks.
Any other questions? We are right on time again. I'm so proud of us.
Hello. Hi, Alyssa. It's so nice to see your face.
Hi.
Hi. Welcome to the team call. Killing it out there on the streets.
I'm going to watch the recording. I'm late.
Okay.
I just wanted to say hi and bye.
Yeah, pretty much. And I figured out how to do it, so that's a plus.
I'm so happy. Like, I'm so excited for you. That's like, it is. It's like the first time doing it. You realize you have to download the app and launch it. It's a little confusing. But now you're good to go. You're a pro now.
Yeah, I did. I tried downloading it on my computer and it died, so then I hopped on my phone.
I just love, you're such a perseverer, you know, just obstacles for obstacles.
Thank you.
Welcome.
And it's being recorded, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
So that was all on the recording too. So that's good.
Awesome.
Oh, yeah, right.
Okay, well, if you guys don't have any more questions, like Kim said, I'm so proud of us for continuing to stick to the 45-minute mark, you know, and hopefully that this did add value. Again, if you guys watch the recording or if you think of more questions, Sarah, I know that like you were someone who like spurred on the whole theme of this call. So if you have any questions afterwards, like just let us know. And then to that vein too, if you guys have any questions or anything that you want team calls to be about in the future, just reach out to me or Kim or write it in the Your Best You page, because we really want these calls to be something that adds value to your life, something that you feel like was worth your time, because we know your time is precious. So just let us know what you want us to talk to you about. Otherwise, we'll just talk about whatever we feel like talking about. And it may or may not be what you hear.
There's a library in the file section. There's a team call library.
Yeah.
So we'll be putting the calls in there as we go. So if you do miss one, look them up.
Yeah. So I will add it in there either later tonight or tomorrow, just depending on how long it takes to. It takes a while to render and then upload to YouTube. But so I'll save it.
And I'll send this little photo. Do you want one more?
Oh yeah, let's take one that Alyssa's on it. We always take a screenshot where it kind of looks like the Brady Bunch, where it's like we're all in our boxes, but just so
cool.
Yeah, so if you want to use it for a Women Crush Wednesday post or something about your team coaching, or just like one day maybe we'll make a photo album.
Oh my gosh, that's so cool. Okay.
So Kim tells us when to smile, and then she takes it for us and she'll post it in the team page.
Awesome.
Hey, smile. Hi, Papa. Hi. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3.
Awesome.
Okay, yay. All right. Well, it was so nice seeing you guys. I always love talking to you guys on Tuesdays and getting to see your face. Thank you so much. We love it when you guys call in live. It's so fun to get to like interact with you. And I hope that you guys each have just a wonderful night.
Yay.
Thanks, girl.
You're so welcome.
Bye,
And Dawn, I loved your picture of the one that was like pretty artsy with it was like your silhouette of like when you were saying that you were going to wait to announce your baby. I was like, man, such a good picture.
Did Andy take that?
He did.
Wow.